They say that at the top of the world, where the air grows thin and where clouds come to die against the stones, stands a city named Elyndor. A city clinging to mountains so high one could swear it floats in the sky. Some call it the crown of clouds. Others say it doesn't exist, that it's nothing more than a mirage, revealed only to those who know where to look. When I was a child, this city was to me just another legend, a tale whispered by the elders, a fable meant to inspire dreams in those who would never see beyond the horizon. But legends sometimes carry a flavor of truth, a stubborn taste that refuses to fade. So I built a ship, I lifted my gaze, and I set out in search of that mist-shrouded city, the one that towers above the clouds, far above the seas and the world of men. This is the story of our trip. My name is Aaron Derval, and for this journey, I am not alone. 2 companions have been traveling with me for far longer than I dare admit. Here is Skipper, a Labrador I found when he was still just a puppy, lost in a dark alley of Londonium. From that day on, he never left my side again. And here is Hektor, an old sea wolf, or rather, one made of metal. He once served in the Armada before being deemed too old and sent to the scrapyard. He doesn't talk much, that's true, but behind his worn bolts lies a master helmsman and one of the most loyal friends anyone could hope for. It has now been nearly a year since we left solid ground, and since we began sailing through the skies, aboard this ship that has become an essential part of our journey. Some see nothing more than a simple boat lifted by a canvas sail. For us, it is a refuge, a home suspended between the winds. Sometimes, when the wind rises, I feel as though it sings, a reminder that even the sky can be a capricious sea. The flame that carries us never falters. It pulses like a mechanical heart. Up here, the light devours everything. Sometimes the sky is so vast, one could believe we are sailing through an endless dream. But the mists always return. They swallow the world and remind us that the sky can be as mysterious as the sea. Inside, routine keeps us alert. Hektor, for his part, holds the course as he always has, and Skipper keeps watch in his own way, muzzle resting but ears alert. But in the heights, tranquility never lasts for long.
Aaron, look outside. On the horizon, a storm, and it's heading straight for us. The wind is picking up, we're going to be shaken for a while.
Through others. As long as we hold our course, we'll be fine.
Don't worry, Skipper. Everything will be just fine.
Get ready. We're going to push through it.
Do you see anything?
Yes, look there, to starboard. An opening in the clouds.
Perfect. Hold on, I'm turning toward it.
Little by little, the turmoil faded, and the sky opened up again, as if nothing had happened. Our ship has weathered worse, tired perhaps, but always ready to move forward. And we too can breathe, a minute of respite, just enough to gather our thoughts. Even Skipper didn't falter. As for Hektor, he kept the helm. He's the one who kept us standing. After every storm, the ship glides once more, as if carried by the familiar habit of travel. The wind softens, the sails breathe, and the sky regains its color. The days pass, and the sky changes more often than our habits. Sometimes the light turns gentle, as if to remind us that the journey also has its moments of peace, and in this succession of days, time eventually begins to dissolve, as though the journey itself had become our only point of reference. The hours go by, and the journey continues, always with the same gentle rhythm. And sometimes, time seems to stretch, as if it simply wanted to let us breathe. There are days when the sky seems endless, and I catch myself gazing into it, as if searching for an answer. Maybe the journey changes more than what we see. Maybe it also changes the way we look at things. Sometimes I tell myself that playing a little would do us some good, so I get ready, convinced that Skipper is in the mood for it. And in the end, this is how it always turns out. And Hektor, well, he's Hektor. We could cross the entire world, and he would remain the same still silhouette behind the helm. Some evenings I need to climb a little higher, as if to better understand where we're going. The wind my only companion. Up there, everything feels simpler. The noise fades away, and calm takes its place again. That moment, just before the light softens, feels like a pause the sky offers us. The night is very gentle tonight, but it's a real pea soup of fog. Do you see anything, Hektor?
Nothing for now. Wait, look.
And then, in the darkness, a glow appeared. In a matter of moments, the sky opened up, shifting unreal colors, as if the night itself had begun to dance. We stood there, without a word, just watching this spectacle the sky so rarely offers. In front of a sky like that, you forget everything else. The cold, the fatigue, even the passing of time. I think it's for moments like this that we accept to brave the storms. What the? Did you hear that?
Yes, but I don't know where it's coming from.
It drifted through the night like a living dream. Silent, immense, unreal. Its light blended with the auroras, as though the sky itself were carrying it. In its gaze, I thought I saw an ancient wisdom. It was simply watching us, like a traveler crossing paths with other souls along its journey. Hektor, have you ever seen a creature like that?
Never, and yet I've seen plenty of strange things.
Aaron, look to port.
What is it? It looks like a mother and her little one. They moved forward with a silent grace, as if the very air bent to their passing. In their movements there was no threat, only a remarkable gentleness, almost a benevolent curiosity. For a few moments we shared the same path, as though our journeys had aligned without a single word. They seemed almost to watch over us, gliding through the night like a family guided by the same breath. They stayed near us until the last hours of the night. Then, just before the sun broke through the horizon, they faded into the mist, as silently as they had appeared. The days returned to their usual rhythm, but my mind sometimes drifts back to those luminous silhouettes that glided beside us. Since then, no sign of them, as if that encounter belonged only to a single night given over to dreams. Sometimes I feel like I'm going in circles, as if the sky itself were closing in around us. We think we're ready for the unknown, until nothing remains but silence and questions without answers. And what if all of this were nothing but a senseless quest? Hektor didn't say anything, but I could clearly see in his gaze that he was worried about me. He has always been like that, and even my off-key singing couldn't manage to reassure him. Despite the feeling of being alone in the world, we kept going, because we had to believe that at the end of all this, something was waiting for us. The hours passed one after another without offering us the slightest surprise. The sky itself seemed frozen, as if holding its breath, unable to tell us whether we were still truly moving forward. Even Skipper had ended up slipping into a sort of torpor. Yet, he was the first to sense that something was disturbing the silence. What is it, Skipper? Did you see something? Hektor, you see it too, right? Tell me I'm not dreaming.
No, it's not a dream. I see it too.
There, straight ahead, there's something else. And suddenly, everything became clear. The mists opened like a curtain, revealing a world I no longer dared to hope for. Elyndor. Mountains of stone rose out of the mist, like the gates of a forgotten world. Between those towering giants, Elyndor began to reveal itself. Quiet, vast. The ship drifted into the heart of the city, carried by an ancient, gentle silence. On the heights, the old towers still kept watch, witnesses of a vanished age. Even the birds seemed to guide our approach, as if Elyndor had been waiting for us. It's magnificent. I never thought I'd see this one day. Hektor set us down over there.
At your command, Captain.
Cut the engines, Hektor. We'll hover here.
It's done. Yeah, everything is shut down.
The entrance to Elyndor. I never could have imagined such grandeur.
This place, it feels as though it surpasses anything we ever dreamed of.
A city long believed lost, frozen in silence and legend. Yet, as we looked upon those ancient towers, it was hard to believe that a place like this could ever have been truly abandoned. Every stone seemed to carry a story and a presence, as if this world had been waiting for only one thing to be found. Standing motionless before that majestic entrance, we felt something, a strange impression, familiar, almost alive. And without us realizing it, Elyndor was already watching us. Then something moved on the water. A small vessel was gliding in our direction. It advanced without hesitation, as if our presence here was no surprise at all. The closer it came, the clearer it became that Elyndor was not a forgotten city, but a place very much alive. But one simple question suddenly grew immense. Were they coming as friends or as judges? None of us knew what to expect. Were we intruders or travelers finally reaching the end of their quest? So we remained there, motionless, hoping that this first contact would be the beginning of an encounter, not a warning. The answer was given to us swiftly. Elyndor was not a legend, but the last civilization still standing since the cataclysm of the oceans. And to them, we were too precious to be left drifting. They offered us shelter, a future, and above all, a truth. The world we had lost was not completely gone. It had simply hidden itself in order to survive. Within the mists, Elyndor appears only to those it chooses. A protective city, fragile, unable to welcome all survivors, but capable of saving a few lives. just enough for hope to endure. Then, just as it had appeared, the city faded once more into the fog. But we now knew one thing. As long as Elyndor endures, the world is not completely lost.